show you today how to make a heart pendant with a beaded border around it, and we're going to bezel this Kingman stone. I cut this out the other day. It's in the shape of a heart, and it's probably an inch across, or an inch from top to bottom, and 1.25 inches side to side. Anyway, we're going to bezel it, and then we're going to solder that bezel down on a piece of sterling, and we're going to try to put a beaded border around it and a bail and those sort of things. So stay tuned. Okay, so the way we're going to begin with, we've got a piece of 22 gauge sterling silver, and we've cut out just a shape, and it's big enough to hold our bezel and have some extra around the outside edge to put a beaded border. What we're going to do first is we're going to shape this bezel, which is 3/16 serrated, and we're going to shape it around our stone. And I like to join the bezel down here on the bottom side. I don't really like to put it at the top up here because it's so noticeable if you have any kind of a mess up. And I just work it around and kind of bend it to the shape of the stone. I've got an old burnisher that helps me kind of move it to the right area. And I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to just mark it here on the back side where I want to cut it. And what we'll do, we'll cut it right here where I marked it, and then we're going to solder the bezel together with some 70% solder. Sometimes I use 75, it just depends. And then we're going to fit it on here again, see how it fits, if it's too loose, or hopefully too loose if anything. If it's too loose, I just cut it again and solder it again, but I think I've got it about right. You want to try to cut these ends real straight. Now I still sand them straight across. There we go. Now the shape of it right now while we're soldering together don't really matter. We just want to make sure we get a good solder joint on it, and then we'll come back and we'll shape it to the stone. Okay, we're going to heat this up, and then we're going to spray it with some fire scoff, which is a spray flux. It has to be about 400 degrees before you put it on there. Now we'll solder this bezel together. You can just use a micro torch for this. Keeps you from burning up the bezel strip. There we go. A little micro torch will work good on these thinner metals like that, even with 75% solder. Okay, what we're going to do now is I got the bezel reshaped, and I've got my backing plate with my maker's mark on the back. I'm going to flux this up both sides just to prevent some fire scale. Now I don't like to put a whole lot of flux on this side here, and that brush really gets it wet, so I'm going to daub it off a little bit. There we go. And put a little bit on the bezel. I'm going to work your frame around the outside edge and keep it off of the bezel, because that bezel is really thin and the heat will destroy it. It'll get hot enough from the heat, conducting the heat from the bottom piece. I'm going to look around for a silver line all the way around. I think we have it. What I was saying is, you want to, when your solder flows, you'll see a fine silver line all the way around the bottom of the bezel, and that means you got solder all the way around. But you want to go back and clean it up, because many times I've found a little spot somewhere that I just didn't see. Okay, we have it all cleaned up, and you can see how the bezel's all soldered down. I did have a good joint all the way around. So, this is a 10 gauge beaded wire. It's sterling silver. We're going to form it around this. Okay, I'm going to show you here the trouble you get into when you're turning tight corners with this 10 gauge beaded wire. It will break with you sometimes. You can anneal it, it helps a little bit, but my experience is it breaks a lot. Anyway, I've got two pieces now. I've joined them together here in the top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flux this all up and solder these down right up here, and then I'm going to come back, cool it off, bring the ends together, and I'm going to have to put one separate bead in, which is not a problem. You got it fluxed up, you just set it in there and go ahead and solder on. So I'm just showing you here how you can overcome some of these type of difficulties. Twisted wire holds together real well. It's a little easier than this, but I really wanted a beaded border on this heart, so we're going to get it done. Well, that shows you that if you keep at it, you can get it done. I had to put this beaded border on in 3 different pieces. It kept breaking on me. I got this half put on, then this half, and then I had to put a single bead down here. Beaded borders are just kind of stiff, and I've annealed them and everything, and they're pretty hard to make much of a bend with. So that was probably most of the problem. Anyway, it's going to all work out. We're going to get it all straightened up. We're going to cut close around all these beads, and that's going to get it looking good. We're going to put a slot up here at the top for a bail. And so next thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut around all these beads, kind of hug them and go in and out of them to make a real scallop type edge. And then I'm going to start cleaning and buffing on all this stuff. So I'll show you what I got after I get that done. Well, what you saw me doing over there just now was I was putting a bail on here. As I said in the last clip, I was going to cut close to all these beads, and you can see how it makes a kind of a scalloped edge. I kind of like that. I think it makes it different looking. And then I went over and just black polished it just to clean it up real good so I could see everything. And then I have this solid bead here. And when I cut around here, I formed me a little holder at the top there, you can see. But anyway, I had this solid bail. I split that bail, put it through here, and that's what I was just doing, was soldering the bottom of it back together. So anyway, we got a setting here with a bail in it now, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just go over, polish it up real good, final polish, and then we're going to set this pretty blue stone in there, and I'll show me setting the stone. Okay, I got this polished up, and I've got the stone set down in there. It fit really good. I'm going to take my burnisher and go along the edge. I'm just rolling it along the edge. Up here behind this bail, I have to use this little deal. Which is just an old leather tool. And then march on around. And you don't want to bend it all over at once. You want to just gradually work it. Right down here on the point is kind of a problem, because sometimes it don't want to collapse in because it's fighting against each other. So I just keep working it around there. What I do, I take my engraver with a brass rod in it, and right down here I just kind of hit it. And that takes care of that. And there we have it. I hope you can see that good. I'll put a picture right after the video so you can see it better. Anyway, that was a fun little project. The beaded border was a little trying, but as you can see, it turned out really nice. Hey, I hope this has helped you a lot. Sometimes just my mistakes might help someone else, just like that beaded border splitting up on me and then having to put it in 3 sections. It's no big deal. Just keep working at it and you work right on through it. So hey, like and subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber. I'd appreciate it. See y'all later.